Messy action beats perfect inaction. You have a beautiful dream inside you right now. That dream could be a business, a book, a healthier body, or a happier relationship. But something keeps stopping you from starting that dream. That something is the lie of perfect timing that your fear tells you every single day. You tell yourself you will begin once you have more money or more skills or more confidence. The truth is that perfect timing never arrives because life is always messy and unpredictable. Waiting for perfect is actually a sneaky form of giving up before you even try. This book exists to break that waiting habit forever. Messy action means you take one small step even when you feel scared or foolish. You do not need a fancy plan or a clean desk or a quiet morning to begin something great. You just need to move your body and do something that feels slightly uncomfortable right now. The word messy is not an insult but a proud badge of courage and honesty. Every single successful person you admire started with shaky hands and doubt in their heart. They just kept moving while others kept waiting for the perfect moment to arrive. That is the only real difference between those who win and those who wish. Let us begin this messy, wonderful, life-changing journey together right now. Chapter 1. The Perfect Plan That Goes Nowhere. You have probably made a perfect plan many times in your life already. That plan looked beautiful on paper with colors and steps and deadlines written neatly. You felt smart and prepared and proud of yourself for being so organized. But then something strange happened when you tried to start that perfect plan. The first small obstacle made you feel like your whole plan was now ruined forever. You told yourself that you needed to fix the plan before taking another single step. Days turned into weeks and weeks turned into months of fixing nothing at all. Your perfect plan became a perfect trap that caught your dreams before they could run. The human brain loves the feeling of making plans more than taking action. Planning gives you a small hit of dopamine without any real risk or failure. Your brain thinks that writing down a goal is almost as good as achieving it. This chemical trick is why so many people stay stuck in the planning phase for years. They buy notebooks and apps and courses about getting ready to get ready. They confuse movement with progress and activity with real results that matter. The truth is that planning is only useful for the first 5% of your journey. The other 95% requires messy, ugly, stumbling forward motion that feels scary. Think about the last time you made a perfect workout plan for yourself last January. You probably wrote down exactly which exercises to do on each day of the week. You bought new shoes and a water bottle and maybe even a gym bag. Then Monday came and you felt tired, and suddenly your perfect plan felt impossible. You missed one workout and told yourself the whole week was now wasted forever. This is the dangerous perfection trap that kills more dreams than failure ever could. A small mistake feels like a huge disaster when you demand perfection from yourself. But a small mistake is just data that helps you adjust and keep moving forward. Perfect plans also fail because life refuses to follow your neat little schedule and rules. Your child gets sick, or your boss adds a new project, or your car breaks down. A perfect plan has no room for these normal human interruptions that happen all the time. You then feel like a failure for circumstances that were never your fault at all. This feeling of failure makes you want to quit and start over next month instead. Next month comes and the same messy life interrupts your new perfect plan again. The cycle repeats until you finally believe that you are just not meant to succeed. But you are meant to succeed if you learn a different way to move forward. The opposite of a perfect plan is not chaos or laziness or giving up on goals. The opposite is a flexible direction that changes when reality punches your plan in the face. Great action takers have a rough map instead of a detailed, perfect blueprint. They know where they want to go but stay loose about exactly how to get there. They take one step and then look around and take another step after that. They do not cry when the path changes because they expected the path to change. They actually get excited when something goes wrong because that means they are finally moving. A perfect plan protects you from failure, but also protects you from ever succeeding at all. Today you will learn to throw away your perfect plan with joy and relief. You will replace it with a simple three-word question that changes everything forever. That question is, what can I do right now? Not tomorrow or next week or after you feel ready. Right now with your current energy and current money and current situation. The answer might be small and silly and embarrassing to even admit out loud. That small, silly answer is worth more than 1,000 perfect plans that never start. Take that small action in the next 5 minutes and watch your perfect trap disappear forever. Chapter 2. Meet your two enemies, Mr. Someday and Ms. What If. Mr. Someday is a very polite liar who lives inside your head without paying rent. He tells you that you will start your business someday when work slows down a little bit. He promises you will get fit someday after the holidays are finally over and done. He whispers that someday you will write that book or paint that picture or learn that skill. His voice sounds calm and reasonable like a caring friend who wants the best for you. But Mr. Someday never gives you a specific date because that would expose his real trick. He keeps pushing your dreams forward like a finish line that moves away from you. The word someday actually means never when you look at it with honest eyes. Ms. What If is the second enemy who pretends to protect you from making big mistakes. She asks scary questions like what if people laugh at your idea or effort or dream. She asks what if you waste your money or your time or your precious energy. She asks what if you try your best and still fail in front of everyone watching. These questions feel helpful because they sound like careful planning and wise thinking. But Ms. What If never asks the opposite and equally important questions that matter just as much. She never asks what if you succeed beyond your wildest dreams because you dared to try. She never asks what if staying safe is actually the most dangerous choice you could ever make. Fear wears the mask of wisdom when Ms. What If is doing her dirty work inside you. Both of these enemies work together as a powerful team to keep you stuck forever. Mr. Someday makes you wait for a future that never arrives no matter how long you wait. Ms. What If makes you afraid of a future that only exists inside your worried imagination. Together, they create a prison where your dreams go to die slowly without making any noise. The saddest part is that these enemies are not real monsters from outside attacking you. They are just patterns of thinking that your brain learned to keep you safe from harm. But what kept cavemen safe from tigers is now keeping you safe from your own potential. You can unlearn these patterns starting today with one small messy action right now. Let me tell you a secret about successful people that most motivational books forget to mention. They hear Mr. Someday and Ms. What If just as loudly and clearly as you do every day. The only difference is that they have learned to act anyway while feeling the fear fully. They do not wait for the fear to disappear because that would take forever and a day. They simply notice the fear, thank it for trying to help, and move their body anyway. This skill is called bravery, but bravery is not the absence of feeling scared at all. Bravery is feeling scared and taking one small messy action with shaking hands anyway. That is the entire secret that took me years of suffering to finally understand completely. You can defeat both enemies today with a simple game I want you to play right now. Every time you hear Mr. Someday say, "Someday I will," you answer back with, "Today I can." Every time you hear Ms. What If say, "What if you fail?" you answer back with, "What if you fly?" Write these answers on a sticky note and put it on your mirror or screen. Say them out loud even if you feel silly because your ears need to hear your own voice. Your brain will slowly rewire itself when you keep winning these small arguments every single day. The enemies will not disappear completely, but they will become background noise instead of your boss. You are stronger than a polite liar and a scared planner put together forever. Your only job today is to catch Mr. Someday and Ms. What If in the act of talking. Notice when you say someday, and notice when you ask, "What if?" with a worried heart. Then take one action that both enemies would hate you for doing right away. Send that email or make that phone call or write that first ugly sentence down on paper. The action does not need to be big or impressive or ready for the whole world to see. It just needs to be real and now and slightly uncomfortable for your fearful mind to handle. Congratulations, you just won a battle that most people lose their entire lives without fighting. Now do it again tomorrow and watch your enemies get quieter and quieter each time. Chapter 3: The 1% Messy Rule. The 1% Messy Rule is the most powerful idea you will learn from this entire book today. Here is how the rule works in simple terms that anyone can understand and use immediately. You do not need to change your whole life or become a different person overnight. You only need to do one small action that moves you 1% closer to your goal. That action can be messy, ugly, imperfect, incomplete, and even slightly embarrassing to admit. The only requirement is that you actually do it instead of thinking about doing it perfectly. 1% better than 0 is infinity better, because 0 times anything is still 0 forever. This math is not complicated, but most people refuse to believe how simple success really is. Most people fail because they try to make 100% change all at one time. They decide to wake up at 5 a.m., run 5 miles, eat only vegetables, and meditate for an hour. This works for exactly 3 days until their body and mind scream for mercy and rest. Then they feel like a failure and quit completely, instead of just scaling back the plan. The 100% approach is actually a secret form of self-sabotage that looks like ambition. Your brain knows you cannot keep up that pace, so it agrees to try for a few days. Then your brain relaxes because the impossible plan failed exactly as it expected to fail. This is not your fault, but it is your responsibility to fix starting right now. Let me show you what the 1% messy rule looks like in real-life situations today. Want to write a book, then write one terrible sentence before you brush your teeth this morning. Want to start a business, then message one stranger and ask one simple question about their problem. Want to get fit, then do 2 push-ups against your kitchen counter while your coffee heats up. Want to learn guitar, then play 3 wrong chords for 30 seconds before watching your favorite show. These actions feel too small to matter, but that feeling is exactly why they actually work. Small actions do not trigger your fear response the way big scary goals always do. You can trick your brain into building momentum before your enemies even realize a battle has started. The magic of the 1% messy rule happens when you repeat these tiny actions every single day. One sentence becomes one paragraph, becomes one page, becomes one chapter before you notice anything happening. 2 push-ups become 5 push-ups, become 10 push-ups, become a whole new healthy habit. One message becomes 5 messages, becomes a conversation, becomes a customer, or a friend, or a partner. Your brain starts to trust that action is safe because nothing terrible happened from doing something small. That trust builds confidence, and confidence builds bigger actions without you forcing anything to happen. This is how bamboo grows underground for years before shooting up toward the sky overnight. You are the bamboo, and each messy 1% is invisible growth that will soon shock everyone watching. You might worry that 1% is too slow, and you want results much faster than that. I understand that feeling completely, because our world celebrates big, dramatic overnight success stories everywhere we look. But those overnight stories always hide years of messy 1% days that nobody bothered to film or share. The tortoise really does beat the hare every single time in real life outside of fairy tales. Fast action often breaks things, while slow, messy action allows you to learn and adjust as you go. 1% daily means you will be 37 times better after 1 full year passes by. 37 times better than 0 is still 0, so you must start the 1% today. A year from now, you will either be 37 steps ahead or still standing at 0. Your mission right now is to identify your 1% action for today only, without worrying about tomorrow. Choose something so small that it feels almost stupid to even call it an action at all. Write down that action on your hand or phone so you cannot pretend to forget about it later. Then do that action before you allow yourself to check social media or watch television tonight. When you finish, celebrate like a crazy person by dancing or shouting or clapping your hands together. You just defeated the giant lie that change requires huge, uncomfortable leaps of impossible courage. Tomorrow, you will do another 1% action, and then another one after that. This is how messy people build extraordinary lives while perfect people wait forever for the right moment. Chapter 4. Throw paint, not blueprints. Imagine you want to paint a beautiful picture, but you have never painted anything before today. A blueprint person would spend months buying the perfect brushes and studying color theory and watching tutorials online. They would sketch the perfect outline and erase mistakes until the paper tore from all the fixing. Then they would look at the blank canvas and feel too scared to make the first mark. The perfect paint remains unused in perfect jars, while the blueprint person waits for perfect courage. Meanwhile, a messy action person takes a cheap brush and throws paint without any plan at all. Their first strokes look like a toddler made them, but at least something exists on that canvas now. That something can be fixed and changed and improved, but a blank canvas cannot be fixed at all. This same story plays out in every area of life, from careers to relationships to health goals. Blueprint people want to know the whole path before they take a single step forward. They want guarantees and certainty and proof that their effort will not be wasted on failure. The universe never gives guarantees to anyone, no matter how perfect their plan looks on paper. Messy action people accept this uncertainty and decide to learn by doing instead of by planning. They understand that you cannot steer a car that is parked in the garage, no matter how clean it is. You must start driving with a messy, imperfect route and adjust the steering wheel as you go. Each wrong turn teaches you something that no blueprint could ever teach you ahead of time. The fear of throwing messy paint comes from a deep worry about what other people might think. You imagine your friends or family or strangers on the internet laughing at your awkward first attempts. This fear is completely real, and I will never tell you to simply ignore your feelings about it. But here is the truth that changed my entire life when I finally accepted it completely. The people who laugh at messy beginners are themselves too afraid to ever begin anything at all. Their laughter is just jealousy dressed up as criticism because your courage scares them deeply. They wish they had the bravery to throw paint instead of just studying blueprints forever like you are doing now. Let them laugh while you build something real and see who is laughing 5 years from today. Successful creators in every field have a secret they rarely share in interviews or podcast conversations. They all have hundreds of ugly, messy failures hidden in drawers or hard drives or storage units somewhere. Your favorite singer recorded terrible songs before they recorded the one that changed their whole life forever. Your favorite author wrote stupid paragraphs before they wrote the sentence that made you cry with joy. Your favorite business owner made embarrassing pitches before they found the offer that made customers line up eagerly. The mess is not the obstacle to success, but the actual path that success walks upon every single time. You cannot skip the messy part, no matter how smart or talented or lucky you might be. The only choice is whether you will throw messy paint now or keep dreaming about perfect blueprints forever. Here is a fun exercise that will change how you feel about making messy starts forever. Go find a piece of paper and something to write with, like a pen or a crayon or a marker. Set a timer for 60 seconds and draw the worst possible picture of a house you can make. Make the lines wobbly and the colors mismatched and the windows completely uneven and strange looking. Now look at that ugly picture and notice that you still feel proud for having made something real. You did not die from embarrassment, and no one arrested you for making something imperfect at all. Now imagine how much better that picture would look after drawing 10 more messy houses with practice. This is exactly how every skill works, including the skills you want to learn for your dream. Your only instruction for today is to throw paint somewhere in your real life right now. Send the imperfect email with the typo that you have been rewriting for 3 entire days. Post the ugly first video on social media, even if your voice sounds weird and shaky to you. Start the conversation with the person you admire, even if you stumble over your nervous words. Throw that paint and then stand back and look at what you created with honest pride. It is messy and imperfect and maybe even a little bit embarrassing to look at right now. But it is yours and it is real, and it did not exist before you had the courage to act. Tomorrow, you will throw more paint, and the day after even more, until suddenly you have a masterpiece. Chapter 5: The 5-Second Miss. Your brain has a built-in safety mechanism that tries to protect you from danger and failure. This mechanism works great when you are about to touch a hot stove or step into traffic. But this same mechanism activates when you try to do something brave like start a new project. Your brain floods your body with fear chemicals that make you feel anxious and stuck and frozen in place. These chemicals peak about 5 seconds after you first think about doing something scary and new. If you do not act within those 5 seconds, your brain will talk you out of acting at all. This is not a character flaw but simple biology that every single human being experiences every day. The good news is that you can use those same 5 seconds to beat your own brain at its own game. The 5-second mess is a simple tool that requires no special training or expensive equipment to use. Here is exactly how it works in 4 easy steps that anyone can follow starting today. Step 1 is to notice that you want to do something that feels scary or uncomfortable right now. Step 2 is to count backwards from 5 to 1 using your voice out loud or inside your head. Step 3 is to physically move your body as soon as you say the number 1 out loud. Step 4 is to do the scary thing before your brain has time to argue with you about it. That is the entire method, and it sounds almost too simple to actually work at all. But simple things work better than complicated things because your brain cannot argue with a simple countdown. Try it right now on something small and watch how your body moves before your brain catches up. Let me give you real examples of how real people use the 5-second mess in their daily lives. You want to make a difficult phone call, but your hands feel heavy and your mouth feels dry to speak. Count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and then press the call button before you can stop yourself. You want to get out of bed to exercise, but the blankets feel warm and your eyes feel so sleepy now. Count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and then throw the blanket off your body immediately after saying 1. You want to speak up in a meeting, but your heart is racing and your voice wants to stay quiet forever. Count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and then open your mouth before your fear can shut it again. The countdown interrupts your brain's fear pattern just long enough for your body to take control back. Your body is braver than your brain once you learn this simple trick to activate it. The science behind this method is fascinating, but you do not need to understand the science for it to work. Your brain's prefrontal cortex is the thinking part that makes plans and worries about the future constantly. Your brain's basal ganglia is the action part that just does things without thinking or worrying at all. The countdown switches your brain from the thinking part to the action part in less than 1 second. You stop deciding and start doing, which is exactly what you need to escape the perfection trap forever. This is why athletes use countdowns before sprinting and firefighters use countdowns before entering burning buildings. They are not being dramatic, but using a neurological hack that saves lives and builds champions every single day. You are no different from them once you decide to use the same tool they use to win. Many people tell me that using a countdown feels silly or childish or like pretending to be in a movie. That feeling of silliness is actually your brain's last desperate attempt to keep you safely stuck forever. Your brain would rather feel silly and safe than brave and possibly embarrassed in front of other people. But feeling silly for 5 seconds is a very small price to pay for changing your entire life. The people who judge you for using a countdown are the same people who never start anything great. Their judgment means nothing compared to the freedom you will feel when you finally take action today. So let yourself look silly and count down and move your body before your brain ruins everything again. The most successful people I know look silly all the time, and they do not care one tiny bit. Your challenge for today is to use the 5-second mess on 3 small scary actions before bedtime. The first action could be sending a text you have been avoiding for several hours or days already. The second action could be throwing away an old food container that has grown mold in your fridge. The third action could be saying hello to a neighbor you usually ignore because talking feels awkward to you. None of these actions will change your life by themselves, but that is not the point at all. The point is to train your brain that moving on 5 is your new automatic response forever. Each time you use the countdown, the next action becomes slightly easier than the last one was. Soon you will use the 5-second mess without even thinking about it, like brushing your teeth. Your life will change not from one big heroic moment, but from thousands of tiny 5-second victories. Chapter 6. Done beats perfect every time. You have been taught your whole life that perfect work is better than imperfect finished work. Your teachers gave you gold stars for neat handwriting and correct answers and 0 mistakes on tests. Your parents praised you when you cleaned your room perfectly without leaving any toys on the floor. Your boss rewards you for error-free reports that took 3 extra hours to polish and double-check. This training worked well for school, but it works terribly for creating anything new or original in life. The real world does not give points for perfect plans that never ship or launch or get released. The real world rewards finished things that exist even if those things have visible flaws and problems. Done is the only thing that matters because done things can be improved, but perfect things do not exist. Let me share a painful lesson I learned after years of hiding my imperfect work from the whole world. I spent 6 months writing what I thought would be the perfect first chapter of a book everyone would love. I rewrote every sentence at least 20 times and changed every word until nothing felt right anymore. I showed the chapter to no one because I was too ashamed of how imperfect it still looked to me. Then one day my friend sent me her first book chapter that was full of typos and awkward sentences. But her chapter was finished and published online, and people were already leaving comments about how much it helped them. Her imperfect finished chapter had changed lives, while my perfect unfinished chapter had changed absolutely nothing at all. That PAINFUL Chinese letter broke something inside me, and I finally understood what done beats perfect actually means forever. The fear of shipping imperfect work comes from a place of caring deeply about what you create. You want your work to represent your best self, and you do not want to embarrass yourself publicly. This caring is beautiful, and I would never ask you to stop caring about quality and excellence entirely. But caring too much becomes a cage that keeps your gifts locked away from the people who need them badly. Your imperfect blog post might be exactly what one person needs to read on their worst day alive. Your imperfect song might make someone feel less alone in their pain and confusion and sadness right now. Your imperfect business offer might solve a problem that has been frustrating a customer for 5 long years. Your work does not need to be perfect to be valuable and helpful, and even life-changing for others. Think about the last 10 things you bought or used or enjoyed in your normal daily life. How many of those things were absolutely perfect without any flaws or problems or room for improvement at all? Your favorite coffee mug has a small chip, but you still drink from it every single morning without complaint. Your favorite pair of jeans has a loose thread, but you still wear them because they make you feel good. Your favorite movie has plot holes, but you still watch it and cry at the same scenes every time. Humans do not love perfect things because perfect things feel cold and fake and impossible to relate to honestly. Humans love real things with flaws and character and the visible marks of a creator who tried their best. Your imperfect creation is more lovable than a perfect creation that does not actually exist anywhere on Earth. Here is a practical system for deciding when something is done enough to share with the world. First, ask yourself whether the work does what it promises to do without dangerous errors or complete nonsense. Second, ask yourself whether waiting another week would make the work 10 times better or just slightly better. Third, ask yourself whether the people waiting for your work would prefer perfect or would prefer now. Fourth, ask yourself whether your future self would be proud of shipping or embarrassed by all the hiding. Fifth, ask yourself whether you would judge a friend as harshly as you are judging your own imperfect work. Sixth, ask yourself whether done and improved later is better than perfect and never released at all. If you answer honestly, you will realize that shipping now is almost always the right choice available. Your only job is to press the button and let your imperfect gift finally fly out into the world. Your mission today is to ship something you have been hiding because it does not feel finished yet. This could be a social media post or an email to your boss or a message to a friend. This could be a drawing you made or a song you recorded or a meal you cooked for someone. This could be an idea you shared in a meeting or a question you asked in a class discussion today. The thing you ship does not need to be your best work or even your good work honestly. It just needs to be finished enough that someone else can see it and respond to it. After you ship it, notice that the world did not end and no one arrested you for imperfection at all. Then do it again tomorrow with something slightly bigger and watch your fear of shipping melt away with each repetition. Chapter 7. Bad days are part of the action. You will have bad days when you start taking messy action toward your dreams and goals. This is not a possibility, but a certainty that every single action taker faces on the journey ahead. The bad days will make you want to quit and hide and return to the safety of planning forever. Your brain will tell you that the bad day proves you were never meant to succeed at all. This voice is lying to you just like it lies to every single person who has ever built anything great. Bad days are not signs that you should stop, but signs that you are finally moving at all. A parked car never has bad days because a parked car never tries to go anywhere exciting. You are not a parked car, so you will have bad days, and that is actually wonderful news. The difference between successful people and stuck people is not that successful people avoid bad days. Successful people have terrible, awful, horrible bad days just like everyone else on this planet every week. The difference is that successful people expect bad days as part of the normal price of action. They do not panic when a bad day arrives because they already packed their bags for this weather. They have a plan for what to do when motivation disappears and everything feels pointless and hard. Stuck people believe that bad days mean they chose the wrong dream or lack the right talent. They quit on a bad day and then wonder why nothing ever works out for them at all. The bad day was not the problem, but the quitting on that bad day was the real disaster. Let me give you permission to have a terrible day without quitting on your dreams forevermore. You can eat junk food and skip your workout and still call yourself an action taker without any shame. You can write one terrible sentence and then watch television for 4 hours without any guilt at all. You can make a stupid mistake at work and still be worthy of your goals and ambitions today. One bad day does not erase 10 good days or 20 good days or 100 good days. One bad day is just one bad day in a long life full of many different kinds of days. The problem is not the bad day, but the story you tell yourself about what the bad day means. Tell yourself a better story that says bad days are just rest stops, not final destinations forever. Successful action takers use a simple tool called the minimum baseline for their worst days. The minimum baseline is the smallest possible action you can take when you feel like doing nothing at all. On a good day, you might write for an hour, but on a bad day, you write for 1 minute only. On a good day, you might exercise for 30 minutes, but on a bad day, you stretch for 30 seconds. On a good day, you might send 20 emails, but on a bad day, you open your email app only. This tiny action keeps your streak alive and your identity as an action taker strong and secure. Your brain notices that you showed up even on the worst day of the whole year so far. That builds trust between you and yourself that no amount of perfect planning could ever build at all. The minimum baseline is how messy action people keep moving when perfect action people stop completely. I want you to write down your minimum baseline for 3 important goals right now on a piece of paper. For your health goal, your minimum baseline might be putting on your workout clothes without exercising at all. For your creative goal, your minimum baseline might be opening your notebook and writing today's date at the top. For your business goal, your minimum baseline might be logging into your work account and staring at the screen. These actions feel ridiculous and pointless, and almost insulting to call them real actions at all. But these ridiculous actions saved my dreams more times than I can count during my darkest days. They kept me connected to my goals when everything inside me wanted to burn the whole ship down. The next time you have a terrible day, ignore the voice telling you to quit entirely instead. Just do your minimum baseline and call that day a win because you stayed in the game. Your only job on bad days is to not make things worse by quitting your entire dream forever. You can feel sad and frustrated and angry and tired and hopeless all at the same time. You can complain to your friends and eat ice cream and cry into your pillow until you fall asleep. You can do all of that and still be a messy action hero who refuses to give up completely. Tomorrow, the sun will rise, and you will feel slightly better than you feel right now. Tomorrow, you will take a slightly bigger action than your minimum baseline from yesterday's bad day. Tomorrow, you will look back at today and feel proud that you did not let one bad day win. That pride is the fuel that will carry you through 1,000 more bad days until you reach your dream. Chapter 8. The wrong way is still a way. You have been taught that there is one right way to achieve any goal or dream you want. School taught you that right answers get gold stars and wrong answers get red marks of shame. Society taught you that successful people followed a clear path that you must copy exactly to win. Your family taught you that certain careers and choices are correct, while other choices are foolish and wrong. This teaching is helpful for following instructions, but terrible for creating something new in the whole world. The truth is that most great achievements came from people who did things the wrong way first. They tried methods that experts said would fail and paths that maps said led nowhere useful at all. The wrong way became a way only because someone brave enough walked it without permission first. Let me tell you about the time I did everything wrong and still got a wonderful result anyway. I started a small online business using advice that every expert said was a guaranteed path to total failure. I posted at the wrong times and used the wrong hashtags and targeted the wrong audience completely. I made every mistake in the book, and then invented new mistakes that were not even in the book yet. After 6 months of doing everything wrong, I had more customers than my perfect planner friends had after 2 years. The experts could not explain why the wrong way worked for me, but not for their perfect students. The answer was simple, and most experts miss it because they are too busy being correct all the time. Action beats perfect inaction, even when the action is technically wrong by expert standards and rules. The fear of doing things the wrong way comes from a deep need for safety and certainty in life. You want to know that your effort will not be wasted on methods that cannot possibly work at all. This need makes perfect sense, and I would never call you silly for wanting some guidance along the way. But the problem is that nobody actually knows the right way to achieve your specific unique dream. Your dream is different because you are different, and the world is different than it was yesterday. The right way for someone else might be the wrong way for you, and you will never know until you try. Even experts are just guessing based on what worked for other people in different situations entirely. You must become your own expert by trying the wrong way and learning what works for you specifically. Here is a freeing thought that changed how I approach every decision in my entire life now. There is no wrong way to start because starting itself is the only thing that counts as right. The quality of your first steps matters 0% compared to the fact that you took them at all. You can start in pajamas or start at midnight or start while crying or start while laughing wildly. You can start with no plan or start with a bad plan or start with a plan that makes no sense. You can start in the wrong city or start with the wrong tools or start with the wrong skills. All of these wrong starts are infinitely better than the right start that never happens because you waited. The right start is a myth invented by people who are too scared to start anything at all. Do not let their fear become your prison when you could be free and wrong and moving forward today. Successful people collect wrong ways like other people collect coins or stamps or rare baseball cards. They try method A, and it fails so they learn something and try method B next time around. They try method B, and it fails so they learn something and try method C after that. Each wrong method teaches them something that no right method could ever teach them ahead of time. They stop seeing wrong as failure and start seeing wrong as data that helps them adjust their aim. The person who tries 100 wrong ways and finds one right way is still a winner. The person who waits for the right way and never tries any way is still exactly where they started. Which person do you want to be when you look back on your life 5 years from today? Your challenge for today is to do one thing the wrong way on purpose without fixing it at all. Send an email with a typo and notice that the world continues spinning on its normal axis afterward. Cook dinner without measuring any ingredients and eat whatever strange combination you accidentally created today. Walk a different route to work even if that route takes longer and makes no logical sense whatsoever. Post a photo without editing it or adding a filter or checking if it looks perfect first. These small acts of wrongness will retrain your brain to see wrong as interesting instead of scary. Wrong becomes an adventure instead of a verdict about your worth as a human being alive today. You might even discover that the wrong way leads somewhere beautiful that the right way never could find. That discovery is the secret treasure that only messy action takers ever get to unwrap for themselves. Chapter 9. Messy Accountability, No Shame Allowed. Accountability means having someone who knows what you promised to do and checks on your progress. Most people hate accountability because they have only experienced the shame-filled version of it before now. The shame version sounds like, "You said you would exercise, and you did not exercise again, did you?" That voice makes you feel small and lazy and worthless, and even more likely to quit trying forever. Shame-based accountability actually makes people hide their struggles instead of asking for the help they need. No one ever built a great life by feeling ashamed of their normal human struggles and setbacks. You deserve a different kind of accountability that lifts you up instead of pushing you down hard. This new kind is called messy accountability, and it will change how you show up for your goals. Messy accountability starts with finding the right person who will hold you gently but firmly to your word. This person could be a friend or a family member, or an online group of strangers with similar goals. The most important quality is that this person does not make you feel judged when you fail at all. They understand that failure is part of the messy action path and not a sign of bad character. They celebrate your small wins like you just won an Olympic gold medal in front of millions. They ask questions like, "What got in your way?" instead of, "Why did you fail again?" They help you problem solve instead of making you feel guilty about problems you already have. Finding this person might take some time, but the search is worth every single minute you spend on it. Here is exactly how to set up a messy accountability system that works without making you feel terrible. First, you tell your person what action you promise to take before your next check-in time arrives. Second, you tell them the minimum baseline you will complete even on your worst possible day ever. Third, you agree on a specific time to check in and report whether you completed the action or not. Fourth, you agree that there will be no punishment or shame regardless of what answer you give them honestly. Fifth, you agree to share what made the action hard and what might help you do better next time. Sixth, you celebrate the attempt itself regardless of whether you hit your goal or missed it entirely. Seventh, you set your next action and schedule your next check-in before ending the conversation now. This simple system has helped thousands of messy action people achieve goals they thought were impossible for them. The magic of messy accountability happens because humans are social animals who care what others think. Even without shame or punishment, your brain works harder when someone else knows your promises and plans. You do not want to show up to your check-in with nothing to report at all. This gentle pressure is exactly the right amount to push you through lazy days and tired days. But the pressure is not so strong that you start lying or hiding or avoiding your accountability person completely. The balance between gentle pressure and zero pressure is where real sustainable change actually lives and grows. Messy accountability finds this balance, while shame-based accountability pushes you away from the support you need most. You deserve the gentle kind because you are a human being with feelings, not a robot without emotions. Many people tell me they do not need accountability because they should be able to do it alone. This belief comes from a place of pride and independence that society taught you to admire in others. But even Olympic athletes have coaches, and even CEOs have boards, and even presidents have advisors. No one achieves anything truly great completely alone without any support or encouragement from other people at all. The myth of the lone hero is just a story that movies sell to make tickets more exciting to buy. Real heroes have friends who bring them soup and ask about their progress and cheer for their small steps. You are not weak for wanting accountability, but wise for understanding how human brains actually work in reality. The strongest people I know are the ones brave enough to ask for help and support every single day. Your mission this week is to find one messy accountability partner for your most important current goal. Write down their name and the action you promise to take before your next conversation with them. Schedule a specific time to check in that works for both of your busy schedules and lives. When you check in, tell the complete truth about what happened without hiding any failures or struggles at all. Let them cheer for you if you succeeded, and let them comfort you if you struggled badly this time. Thank them for showing up for you and offer to be their accountability partner in return for their kindness. Notice how much easier it is to take messy action when someone else knows you are trying your best. This feeling of supported courage is how ordinary people build extraordinary lives one messy step at a time. Chapter 10. Messy money start that side hustle ugly. Money is one area where people wait for perfect conditions more than almost any other part of life. You tell yourself that you will start that side hustle after you save more money first of all. You tell yourself that you will invest after you learn more about how the stock market actually works. You tell yourself that you will ask for a raise after you finish one more big project successfully. These delays feel responsible and wise, but they are actually costing you real money every single day. The perfect financial conditions you are waiting for will never arrive because money is always messy. The stock market goes up and down, and your bills change and unexpected expenses appear from nowhere. Waiting for perfect money conditions is like waiting for the ocean to stop having waves before you learn to swim. The messy money approach says that you can start earning extra cash today with almost nothing at all. You do not need a fancy website or a business license or $1,000 in startup funds. You need one skill that someone else will pay for and one way to tell them you exist today. That skill could be walking dogs or teaching math or cleaning houses or designing simple logos for people. You can find customers by posting on a free community page or telling your neighbors or asking your friends. Your first customer does not care about your logo or your business cards or your perfect website design. Your first customer cares about whether you can solve their problem at a fair price they can afford. Get your first messy customer and then improve everything later with the money you earned from them. The fear of starting a messy side hustle comes from worrying about what other people might think of you. You imagine your coworkers laughing at your small business that looks unprofessional and amateurish compared to theirs. You imagine your family saying, "I told you so," if the business does not make $1 million immediately. But here is the truth that changed my financial life more than any investing advice ever could. The people who might laugh at you are not paying your bills or funding your retirement or buying your groceries. Their opinion matters exactly 0% compared to the freedom of having extra money in your bank account. Every successful business owner started messy, including the ones whose products you buy from huge stores today. They cleaned toilets and mowed lawns and sold things on street corners before they got fancy. You are no different from them, except that you are still waiting while they already started their messy journey. Let me give you permission to start a side hustle that looks ugly and small and embarrassing to your perfect planner friends. You can use your personal social media page instead of creating a professional business page first. You can write your prices on paper instead of printing fancy brochures that cost money you do not have. You can ask your first customers to pay you in cash instead of setting up a complicated payment system today. You can work from your kitchen table instead of renting office space that eats your tiny profits alive. You can learn as you go instead of taking expensive courses that teach you things you do not need yet. These messy starts have launched million-dollar businesses more often than perfect plans ever have in history. The only thing that matters is making your first dollar, however ugly that first dollar looks to you. After you make $1, making $10 becomes easier, and then making 100 becomes natural. Many people worry that starting a messy side hustle means they will be stuck doing small work forever. They worry that cleaning houses or walking dogs or doing small tasks will become their whole life story. This worry ignores how every single successful business in history actually grew from small beginnings over time. The person who cleans houses learns which customers have bigger problems worth solving for more money. The person who walks dogs learns which dog owners need pet sitting or training or premium food delivery services. The person who designs simple logos learns which businesses need full branding packages worth thousands of dollars each. You do not stay small unless you choose to stay small because you are afraid of becoming big. Your messy start is just a door that opens into a hallway with many bigger doors waiting further ahead. Walk through the messy door today and trust that you will figure out the bigger doors when you reach them. Your challenge for this week is to make your first messy dollar from a side hustle you start today. Write down one skill you have that someone else might pay you to do for them right now. Write down 3 specific people or places where you could offer this skill for a small amount of money. Message those people today using the 5-second mess before your brain talks you out of trying at all. Offer to do the work for a low price because your first goal is proof, not profit at all. When you complete the work and receive your first messy dollar, celebrate like you just won a huge lottery prize. Put that dollar somewhere you can see it every day as a reminder that messy action creates real money. Then do it again for $2 and then again for $5 and watch your confidence grow. This is how messy millionaires are made, while perfect planners stay broke waiting for the right moment to finally begin. Chapter 11. Messy Health Exercise in Your Pajamas. Health and fitness are areas where perfectionism stops more people than laziness ever could in history. You believe that exercise requires special clothes and special shoes, and a special place to do it properly. You believe that healthy eating requires expensive organic ingredients and complicated recipes and hours of preparation time. You believe that you need to feel motivated and energetic and ready before you move your body at all. These beliefs come from social media posts showing perfect people doing perfect workouts in perfect lighting. Those posts are lies created to sell products, not to help real humans with real lives get healthier. The truth is that your body does not care about your outfit or your location at all. Your body only cares that you move it more today than you moved it yesterday, even slightly. The messy health approach says that any movement counts even if that movement looks ridiculous to other people. You can exercise in your pajamas before you even brush your teeth in the morning time. You can dance to one song in your kitchen while your coffee brews and your toast cooks. You can do 5 squats while waiting for your microwave to beep and tell you dinner is ready. You can stretch on your living room floor while watching your favorite television show at night. You can take a 3-minute walk around your house when you feel stuck and tired and unmotivated to move. None of these actions look like the perfect workouts you see on your social media feeds every day. But they are real and they are possible, and they will change your body more than perfect workouts you never start. A 3-minute messy walk beats a 60-minute perfect gym plan that never actually happens at all. The fear of messy health comes from comparing your real body to fake bodies on screens all day long. You see influencers with flat stomachs and perfect skin and workout clothes that cost more than your rent payment. You tell yourself that your messy pajama exercise is not worth doing because it will never give you that body. This comparison ignores that those influencers have teams of trainers and chefs and photo editors helping them daily. It also ignores that those influencers started with messy pajama exercise long before anyone paid them for anything. The gap between where you are and where you want to be is crossed by messy steps, not perfect leaps. Your pajama squats are the first messy steps on a journey that could lead anywhere you want to go. The only way to fail is to let comparison stop you from taking the first messy step today. Let me give you a messy eating strategy that does not require any special food or cooking skills at all. The strategy is called add one good thing instead of remove all bad things from your meals. Before you eat your normal food, add one handful of vegetables to your plate without changing anything else. Before you drink your normal soda, drink one glass of water and then enjoy your soda without guilt. Before you eat your normal dessert, eat one piece of fruit and then enjoy your dessert without shame. This adding strategy works better than subtracting because your brain hates losing things it already enjoys. You are not taking away pleasure, but adding extra nutrition that makes your body feel better slowly. Over time, the good things will naturally crowd out some of the less helpful things you eat. This messy, gentle approach creates lasting change, while perfect diets create cycles of failure and shame forever. Many people believe that missing one workout means the whole week is ruined and they should just quit entirely. This all-or-nothing thinking is the real enemy of health, not the missed workout at all. Your body does not reset to zero just because you ate one bad meal or skipped one exercise session. Your body keeps the progress from all your previous good days even after one bad day happens. The problem is not the missed workout, but the story that one miss means you are a failure. That story leads to a second missed workout, and then a third, and then a whole year passes. Messy health people miss workouts and then simply do the next workout without any drama or shame. They understand that health is a long, messy journey, not a short, perfect race to finish. You can start again right now in this moment, without waiting for Monday or January or any special day. Your challenge for today is to do one messy health action before you go to sleep tonight. Put on your pajamas or your oldest, most comfortable clothes that feel good on your body. Stand up from wherever you are sitting right now and march in place for 60 seconds only. Stretch your arms above your head and roll your shoulders and wiggle your toes on both feet. Add one vegetable to your dinner plate, even if that vegetable comes from a frozen bag or a can. Drink one glass of water before you drink anything else for the rest of this evening. Take 3 deep breaths that fill your belly and your chest and your whole body with fresh, clean air. None of these actions will transform your body overnight, but that was never the goal at all. The goal is to prove to yourself that messy health is possible for you starting right now today. Chapter 12. Messy Love. Send the awkward text. Relationships are the area where perfect inaction causes the most heartbreak and loneliness for humans. You wait to tell someone you love them until you find the perfect romantic moment that movies show. You wait to apologize for hurting someone until you craft the perfect speech that explains everything well. You wait to reach out to an old friend until you lose the weight or get the promotion or feel more confident. These waits feel respectful and careful, but they are actually stealing precious time you cannot ever get back. People get sick and people move away and people forget and people die while you wait for perfect. The perfect words do not exist, and the perfect moment is a fantasy that keeps you safely alone. Messy love means saying the imperfect true thing now rather than the perfect false thing never at all. The messy love approach says that an awkward text is better than a silent phone that never rings for anyone. You can send a message that says, "I miss you," without adding any explanation or apology or excuse at all. You can send a message that says, "I am sorry," without writing a whole paragraph that explains why you were wrong. You can send a message that says, "I love you," even if your hands are shaking and your stomach feels sick with fear. The other person does not need perfect words to understand what your messy, clumsy heart is trying to say to them. They need to know that you are thinking of them and that they matter to you at all. A messy text takes 5 seconds to send, but its effects can last for 5 years or more. The silence you are hiding in feels safe, but it is actually slowly killing your connections with people you love. The fear of messy love comes from past experiences where you said the wrong thing and got hurt badly. Your brain remembers that pain, and tries to protect you by keeping your mouth completely shut forever. This protection made sense when the pain was fresh, and you needed time to heal from the wound. But now, the protection has become a prison that keeps you from experiencing new love and connection. The people who hurt you in the past are not the same as the people who love you in your present. Your current friends and family deserve to hear your messy true feelings even if your voice shakes. Even if they react badly, at least you will know that you tried instead of hiding forever in silence. A bad reaction to your messy love is better than no reaction because you never had the courage to speak at all. Here is a simple 3-step system for sending messy love messages without overthinking them to death. Step 1 is to write the message exactly as it comes out of your heart without editing anything yet. Step 2 is to read the message once to make sure it is not cruel or dangerous or wildly inappropriate at all. Step 3 is to use the 5-second mess and press send before your brain convinces you to delete everything forever. Do not rewrite the message 7 times or ask 3 friends for their opinion on your words. Do not wait for the perfect time of day or the perfect mood or the perfect alignment of stars. Do not save the message as a draft to finish later, because later never comes for messages like these. The message does not need to be perfect because the love behind the message is what truly matters to them. Many people worry that messy love means they will embarrass themselves and lose all their dignity forever. They imagine the other person showing their awkward text to friends who will laugh at how desperate they seem. This fear feels real, but let me ask you a question that will change how you see this situation entirely. Have you ever received an awkward love confession and thought badly of the person who sent it to you? Have you ever laughed at a friend who reached out with a shaky voice and said something imperfectly true? Most people feel honored and touched when someone cares enough to be vulnerable and messy with them. The awkwardness is actually beautiful because it proves the love is real and not a performance. Perfect smooth words could mean anything, but messy shaky words always mean the honest truth from the heart. You will never embarrass yourself by caring about someone, even if your words come out completely wrong today. Your challenge for today is to send one messy love message to someone who matters to you right now. This could be a partner or a parent or a child or a friend you have not spoken to in months. This could be a coworker you appreciate or a neighbor who helped you or a teacher who changed your life. Write the message in 10 seconds without editing or polishing any of the messy words at all. Use the 5-second mess and press send before your brain finds 17 reasons to wait until tomorrow. After you send it, put your phone down and breathe deeply and notice that you are still alive and safe. Whatever response comes back or does not come back is okay because you already won by sending it. You prove to yourself that you are brave enough to love messily instead of hiding perfectly alone. That proof will make the next messy love message easier, and then the next, and then love will flow freely from you. Chapter 13. Messy Creativity. Write the dumb first draft. Creativity suffers more from perfectionism than almost any other human activity you can name. Writers stare at blank pages for hours because their first sentence does not sound like famous authors. Painters spend months mixing colors because their first stroke does not look like museum masterpieces. Musicians record and delete the same song 50 times because their first version sounds amateurish to their ears. Entrepreneurs design and redesign their logo forever because it does not look like Apple or Nike yet. This perfectionism comes from comparing your messy first try to someone else's finished 1,000th try. The book you love took 10 drafts before it looked like the one you hold in your hands today. The song you love took 100 bad versions before it became the hit you play on repeat. You are seeing the final flower without knowing about the messy soil that grew it at all. The messy creativity approach gives you permission to create something terrible on purpose right now. You can write a first sentence that says, "This sentence is dumb, and I will fix it later," without any shame. You can paint a first stroke that looks like a brown blob that a baby might have made accidentally. You can play a first chord that sounds like a cat falling down a flight of stairs noisily. The only rule is that you must create something instead of waiting to create something good immediately. Something can be fixed, but nothing cannot be fixed because nothing has nothing to work with at all. The worst first draft in human history is still better than the best blank page that never becomes anything real. Your job is not to be good, but to be done, because done can become good with enough messy revisions later. Good cannot appear from nowhere without something existing first to polish and shape and improve over time. The fear of creating messily comes from attaching your worth as a human to your creative output. You believe that a bad painting means you are a bad person who lacks talent and value in the world. You believe that a bad first draft means you are a fraud who has nothing important to say to anyone. These beliefs are cruel lies that your perfectionist brain tells you to keep you safely quiet forever. Your worth as a human has nothing to do with the quality of your first creative attempts at all. The most talented artists in history made thousands of bad works before making one good work worth remembering. The difference between them and you is not talent, but the willingness to make bad work publicly and often. You can make bad work today and still be a wonderful, valuable human being worthy of love and respect. Your creative mess is not a reflection of your worth, but simply the price of admission to your gift. Let me share a powerful secret that professional creators use to defeat their perfectionist brain demons daily. They separate the creating phase from the editing phase into two completely different mental modes of operation. In creating phase, you pour out messy words or strokes or notes without any judgment or criticism at all. You tell your inner critic to take a nap because you will wake them up during the editing phase later on. In editing phase, you put on your critic hat and clean up the mess you made during the creating phase. You cannot do both phases at the same time because they use different parts of your brain entirely. Trying to create and edit at once is like trying to drive with your foot on the gas and brake together. The car shakes and stalls and goes nowhere, just like your creativity dies when you judge it too early. Write first and then fix later in that exact order, without mixing the two activities together at all. Many people worry that messy creativity means they will never learn to create good work eventually over time. They worry that if they allow themselves to be bad now, they will stay bad forever without improving. This worry ignores how every single skill in human history is learned through bad practice that improves slowly. A baby does not worry that their first wobbly steps mean they will never learn to run in a race. A toddler does not worry that their first babbled words mean they will never speak a whole sentence clearly. You did not worry about being bad at walking or talking, because everyone expects Bobbies to be messy and bad. Somehow you started expecting yourself to be perfect at creative skills without going through the messy baby phase first. Give yourself permission to be a creative baby who falls down and gets back up and learns through mess. Your grown-up creative self will thank you for letting them be messy enough to learn and grow fully. Your challenge for today is to create one messy thing and show it to one other human being before sleeping. Write a poem that rhymes badly and makes no sense and uses the wrong words on purpose. Draw a picture of your lunch using only your non-dominant hand and crayons if you have them. Record a 10-second video of yourself singing a song with made-up lyrics that sound funny and dumb. Build a tower from random objects in your house and take a photo before it falls down completely. Share whatever you create with one friend who will not judge you or make fun of your effort at all. Notice that you did not die from embarrassment, and the world did not end because you made something bad. Notice that creating felt good even though the result was terrible compared to professional work you see online. This good feeling is the fuel that will carry you through 1,000 messy creations until one day you make something great. Chapter 14. The Messy Action Hall of Fame. The Messy Action Hall of Fame celebrates ordinary people who took messy first steps and changed their lives. These are not famous billionaires or Hollywood stars or athletes with natural talent from birth. These are people like you who felt scared and unprepared and embarrassed to start their journey at all. They sent the awkward email and made the ugly first product and posted the shaky video anyway. They failed more times than they succeeded, but they never stopped taking messy action every single day. Their stories prove that you do not need to be special to win with messy action consistently over time. You just need to start and continue and refuse to let perfect inaction steal your dreams away. Let me introduce you to 3 members of this Hall of Fame right now in this chapter. Meet Sarah, who wanted to start a podcast but had no equipment and no experience and no audience at all. She recorded her first episode on her phone while sitting in her car during a lunch break at work. The audio quality was terrible, and she stumbled over her words, and her kids interrupted her 3 different times. She almost deleted the episode instead of publishing it because she felt so embarrassed by the messiness. But she remembered that done beats perfect, and she posted the messy episode to the internet anyway. That episode was downloaded by exactly 7 people, and 5 of them were her family members probably. But one of those 7 people shared her podcast with a friend who shared it with another friend after that. 2 years later, Sarah has a top-rated podcast with thousands of listeners and sponsors paying her real money. Her messy car recording launched a career that perfect planning would have kept locked inside her head forever instead. Meet James, who wanted to get fit but weighed 300 pounds and could barely walk up his own stairs. He could not afford a gym membership or a personal trainer or fancy workout equipment at his home. He started by walking to the end of his driveway and back every single morning before work began. That walk took less than 1 minute and felt embarrassing to even call it exercise at all. But James used the 1% messy rule and kept showing up to his driveway every day without missing once. After 1 month, he walked to the mailbox and back, which took about 2 whole minutes of time. After 3 months, he walked around his block, which took 10 minutes, and made his neighbors wave at him. After 1 year, James lost 100 pounds and walked 5 miles every morning before breakfast. His messy driveway start meant more than a perfect gym plan that he would have quit after 3 days completely. Meet Maria, who wanted to start a business but had only $50 and no business skills whatsoever. She started by offering to clean houses in her neighborhood for $20 per house cleaned completely. Her first customer's house was so dirty that Maria almost cried when she saw the bathroom situation there. She had no fancy cleaning products and used vinegar and baking soda she already owned at home. She made mistakes and broke a small lamp and had to apologize and offer to fix the damage caused. The customer was understanding and even left her a positive review online for her honesty and hard work. That review led to 2 more customers, and those customers led to 5 more customers after them. 3 years later, Maria owns a cleaning company with 15 employees and plans to expand to another city soon. Her $50 messy start built something that her perfect business plan would have kept as a fantasy forever instead. These stories are not exceptions or miracles or lucky breaks that only happen to special people at all. These stories are the normal result of messy action repeated daily over a long enough period of time. Sarah, James, and Maria all felt the same fear and doubt that you feel right now in this moment. They all heard Mr. Someday and MS What If whispering lies about waiting until conditions were more perfect forever. They all had bad days where they wanted to quit and hide and pretend they never tried anything at all. The only difference is that they took the messy action anyway while their fear screamed at them to stop. You have the exact same ability to take messy action starting today without any special talent or luck. The Messy Action Hall of Fame has a seat waiting for you whenever you decide to claim it finally. Your name belongs in this Hall of Fame alongside Sarah and James and Maria and thousands more unnamed heroes. You do not need to wait until you lose weight or make money or get famous to earn your place. Your place is earned the moment you take your first messy action despite feeling completely scared and unprepared. That first messy action might be sending 1 email or writing 1 paragraph, or walking 1 minute outside. That first messy action might be offering 1 service, or recording 1 video, or saying 1 honest truth to someone. The size of the action does not matter at all, but the fact of the action matters completely forever. Each messy action you take adds another brick to the Hall of Fame that you are building with your life. Someday someone else will read your story and feel inspired to take their own messy first step because of you. That is the legacy of messy action that perfect inaction could never ever create in 1,000 years. Chapter 15. Your Messy First Week, a 7-day jumpstart. This final chapter gives you a specific plan for your first 7 days of messy action starting tomorrow morning. You do not need to wait for Monday, or the first of the month, or any special date at all. You can begin this plan on a Tuesday, or a Thursday, or even a Saturday without any problem. Each day contains one small messy action that builds on the previous day's courage and momentum. The actions are designed to feel slightly uncomfortable, but not impossible for you to complete easily. If an action feels too hard, you can make it even smaller until it feels possible to do. The only rule is that you must complete the action before sleeping each night of the week. No perfection allowed, and no shame allowed, and no skipping days allowed at all during this week. Day 1 is about breaking the planning trap that has kept you stuck for so long already. Your action is to take one goal you have been planning and do the smallest possible version of it today. If your goal is to write a book, then write one sentence that will not make it into the final book. If your goal is to exercise, then do 2 stretches while sitting in your chair right now today. If your goal is to start a business, then message one person and ask them one question about their problems. Write down what you did on a piece of paper that you will keep visible all week long. Notice how it felt to take action instead of writing another beautiful plan that leads nowhere at all. Celebrate your day, one win with a small treat like a cookie, or a favorite song, or a short dance. Day 1 is done, and you are already ahead of everyone who is still planning their perfect someday. Day 2 is about defeating Mr. Someday and MS What if using the tools you learned earlier in this book. Your action is to catch your enemies in the act of talking and answer them back out loud today. Every time you hear yourself say, "Someday I will," answer back with, "Today I can," out loud immediately. Every time you hear yourself ask, "What if I fail?" answer back with, "What if I fly?" out loud immediately. Write these answers on sticky notes and place them where you will see them often during your day. Notice how saying the answers out loud changes the feeling inside your body and your mind. The enemies will not disappear, but you will feel stronger than them for the first time possibly ever. Your Day 2 win is noticing that you are the boss of your thoughts, not the other way around. Celebrate by telling one person about your victory against the enemies who live inside your head. Day 3 is about applying the 5-second mess to something that has been scaring you to do recently. Your action is to choose one small scary task and use the countdown to complete it today. This could be a phone call you have been avoiding or a conversation you have been dreading completely. This could be a task at work that feels difficult or a chore at home that feels boring and annoying. Count backwards from 5 to 1 and move your body as soon as you say the number 1 out loud. Do not give your brain time to argue or find excuses or suggest waiting until later to do it. After you complete the task, notice that the fear was worse than the actual task itself for you. Write down how it felt to act despite fear on your paper from Day 1 earlier this week. Your Day 3 win is proof that you can move your body before your brain talks you out of everything good. Day 4 is about shipping something imperfect instead of hiding it until it feels perfect enough. Your action is to share something unfinished with one other person without fixing it up first at all. This could be a rough draft of an email or a photo you took that is not edited clearly. This could be an idea you have that is not fully formed or a question you are not sure about. Send it or say it or post it without adding any polish or changes to make it look better. Notice that the world did not end and no one laughed at you for sharing something imperfect today. Notice that the other person probably did not even notice the imperfections you were so worried about showing. Write down what you shipped and how it felt on your paper from Day 1 earlier this week. Your Day 4 win is understanding that done beats perfect because done actually exists in the real world. Day 5 is about using the minimum baseline on a day when you feel tired or unmotivated to act. Your action is to do the smallest possible version of your most important goal today without shame. If your goal is exercise, then put on your workout clothes without actually working out at all today. If your goal is creativity, then open your notebook and write today's date without writing anything else. If your goal is connection, then open your messaging app without sending any message to anyone today. This tiny action keeps your streak alive and proves that you show up even on hard days. Notice that showing up small is infinitely better than not showing up at all in every way. Write down your minimum baseline action and how it felt on your paper from day 1. Your day 5 win is learning that bad days do not break your streak unless you let them break it. Day 6 is about doing something the wrong way on purpose to break your perfectionist patterns forever. Your action is to complete a normal task using the wrong method, or the wrong tools, or the wrong timing. Brush your teeth with your non-dominant hand and notice how awkward and wrong it feels to you. Cook dinner without measuring anything and eat whatever strange combination you accidentally create today. Walk to work using a longer route that makes no sense but shows you new streets and houses. Send an email with a typo and do not apologize or explain or fix the typo at all afterwards. Notice that the wrong way still got the task done, and you learned something new from the experience. Write down what wrong method you used and what you learned on your paper from day 1. Your day 6 win is understanding that the wrong way is still a way that moves you forward. Day 7 is about celebrating your first week of messy action with joy and pride and self-recognition. Your action is to review your paper from the whole week and notice all the actions you took together. Count how many times you chose messy action over perfect inaction during these past 7 days. Write down 3 things you learned about yourself from taking messy action all week long. Write down 1 thing that surprised you about how it felt to act instead of waiting endlessly. Write down 1 commitment for next week that builds on what you learned during this messy first week. Share your week with your messy accountability partner or a friend who will celebrate your wins with you. Thank yourself for having the courage to start, because most people never take this first brave week at all. Your day 7 win is becoming someone who takes messy action instead of someone who only dreams about someday. Conclusion. You have reached the end of this book, but you have only taken the very first step of your messy action journey. The real work begins now when you close these pages and face the blank canvas of your actual life today. The tools and stories and chapters will mean nothing if you do not apply them to your real situations. Your fear will return tomorrow, and your enemies will whisper their lies again and again and again. That is not a problem, but simply the normal condition of every human who dares to want something more. The question is not whether you will feel fear, but whether you will act despite the fear every single time. You now have a toolbox full of messy strategies that work if you choose to use them consistently. The only thing standing between you and your dream is the choice to take messy action right now today. The perfect life you have been waiting for does not exist anywhere except inside your fearful imagination. The messy life you could be living is waiting for you outside your front door with open arms and a wild laugh. You will stumble and fall and make mistakes and look foolish and embarrass yourself many times ahead. You will also feel alive and proud and free and strong and connected in ways that planning never gave you. Every single chapter of this book was written to convince you that you are already enough to begin. You do not need more courses or more books or more preparation or more confidence or more anything at all. You just need to take 1 messy action in the next 5 minutes before your brain talks you out of it. Go ahead and take that action now, because messy action beats perfect inaction forever and always and completely.